Does all things really mean all things? We'll talk about that today on Bible Time. Hello again, everyone. Thank you for joining me for Bible Time. I'm going to turn to Philippians chapter 4 for a very popular verse, but I'm going to begin at verse 10. And this is what it reads. But I rejoiced in the Lord greatly, that now at last you have revived your concern for me. Indeed, you were concerned before, but you lacked an opportunity to act. Not that I speak from need, for I have learned to be content in whatever circumstances I am. I know how to get along with little, and I also know how to live in prosperity. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of being filled and going hungry, both having an abundance and suffering need. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Nevertheless, you have done well to share with me in my difficulty. So, when we take that verse and put it into context, it kind of means something a little bit different, doesn't it? Yes and no. I mean, this is tricky. It's one that people use without really realizing what they're saying at times, but at other times, it really means exactly what it says. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That is very true. But what is Paul really saying here? We come to the point where Paul is in prison. He's in chains, speaking to the Philippians. He's praising them for what they've done by taking care of him. And he's saying, you finally have a chance to act on how much you wanted to take care of me. But I want you to know that I've learned to live with or without, to learn to live in hunger and in great abundance. I've learned to live with very little and a whole lot, because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. He strengthens me in the good and the bad. He strengthens me in the need and the abundance. He strengthens me when I have and when I have not. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's not saying that I'm about to take on an enormous task, like a physical strength. I hear Olympians use this a lot. And they say, well, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That verse isn't saying that Christ has given you strength to do that high dive or to jump those hurdles or to push a little harder on that pole and get over the highest mark on the pole vault. That's not what the Bible's saying there. Yes, Christ gives you strength in all things, but my goodness, let's not use it for something that it's not intended to be. This is intended to encourage people that when things are really bad and you can't buy food, you don't know how you're going to pay your house payment, Christ will strengthen you, because that's who he is and that's what he does. It's also saying that when hey, you got a raise at your job and things are going really well and you got extra money in the bank, Christ will strengthen you in those times as well. It's not so that you have superhuman strength to accomplish something. It's so that you can get through life, because life is difficult. Jesus said that you will have trials in this world, but I have overcome the world. And he is strengthening us. He gives us resolve. He gives us courage. He gives us strength to carry on day to day. It's not, look at me, I am superhuman strength. No, it's not the kind of strength you're getting there. No, not. It's everyday strength. And it's a great thing that he gives out of an abundance of love. I mean, who would not give to someone they loved? And Jesus told us about this when he said that, if your son asks for a piece of bread, you don't give them a stone. When we ask God for the things that we need, not the things we desire, the things we need, he will give them, and he'll give us the strength that we need to go along with them. And, I don't mean to put down anybody who's looking to Christ, because that's a great thing. I mean, these Olympians, I hear it a lot with them, they're looking to God. That's great. Just kind of cautioning. Don't just feel like God's going to give you superhuman strength to accomplish a task, because if he doesn't, then you're going to feel let down. And that's not what he promised in Philippians. He promised the internal strength, the fortitude to get through the trials of life, because there's something greater in the end. He promised the strength for the person who is suffering with cancer. He promised strength to the person who doesn't know where their next meal is coming from. He promised strength to the person who grew up without knowing their parents or is struggling with mental illness. He gave us strength for all those things. That's what he's talking about in Philippians. Paul is praising God and the Philippians as well. And we should too. In everything we do, whether we are struggling or whether we are thriving, we need to be praising God. And I know firsthand, personally, that's not easy to do. There are many times when I've yelled at God wondering, why are you allowing this to happen? But after I got past that incident, I realized he gave me strength to get through those incidents. He gave me courage. He gave me knowledge. He gave me wisdom. He strengthened me so that I can do all things. So that's what Philippians 4:13 really means. So when you see someone, hear someone, or you see something up that just says, hey, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Sure, yeah. But do you really know what it means? Now you know. And that's your Bible time for today. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll talk to you again real soon. God bless.